I will. Welcome to Cooking with Bubbles. I'm Lisa.
And I'm Rodney. Let's get started. Oof.
Okay.
6 turns. Get that cage off.
Oh.
Ready?
Yes.
Ooh, love it.
Ooh,
My
I've got a
favorite
little bit of spillage.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay. It's okay.
We'll talk about how to prevent that on a future episode.
Sounds good.
Awesome.
Like, don't shake the bottle up 1,000 times beforehand.
Well, there's that.
I'm going to put some cranberry juice in mine.
Me too.
Make it a little more festive.
Just a splash. Cool.
Splash for color.
Right. Cheers.
Or clink.
Clink. Mm. Wow.
Yummy.
That's how to start a Sunday right.
Totally.
Well, we're back loving what we do, cooking together on Zoom while drinking Prosecco. We invite our audience to pour your own glass of bubbles and enjoy the episode. Lisa, that's a pretty sexy apron you have on there. Where'd you get that?
Well, it's just a little something I ordered from online so that we could up our game a little bit with Cooking with Bubbles. And
Awesome.
very soon, we're going to have these available for anyone in our audience that would like to order one as well. It says
Awesome.
Cooking with Bubbles, and it's got our little logo with bubbles popping. Looks awesome.
Awesome. Cool.
So yeah, like you said, here we are back to doing what we love to do. You're in your kitchen, I'm in my kitchen, making our own messes. But during this time when people are spending a lot more time at home, this is a really fun way that we get to spend our time together still and do what we normally do on a Sunday, which is cook some awesome food and drink mini bubbles.
I'll drink bubbles to that.
Awesome.
So what are we making today, Lisa?
So today on the menu, we're making homemade egg rolls. It's a recipe that I found, and it just sounded so simple, so delicious. It's got all the stuff that we like. It's going to have ground pork in it. It's going to have a ready-made slaw mix, green onions, soy sauce, sesame oil, a little garlic, a little ginger, and we're going to wrap them up in little wonton wrappers and then fry them in our pan. I'm using pork today, Rodney, but I think you're going to be using chicken, correct?
Yeah, I am using chicken. I tend to go to the side of less fat. That's just me. That's my style. But pork, chicken, you can use whatever you like to make this recipe. So even though the recipe calls for 3/4 of a pound of meat, I've actually done a whole pound of ground chicken. And I like ground chicken better than turkey. I don't like ground turkey. It's too gritty. And I don't like the flavor. So I tend to gravitate towards chicken. So I pre-cooked it, but I do need to heat it up so that we can get it started. And I've prepped some of my other ingredients. So I'm going to heat up my pan and get this chicken warmed back up so that we can get these egg rolls on the way.
That sounds really, really good. So this recipe provides a lot of opportunities for us to add all kinds of special ingredients into it. Let me just turn my camera around a little bit so I can show my pan. Slide these bubbles out of the way. But you're able to do, like you said, you can do ground pork, ground chicken. There's no reason you can't do ground beef in it. The nice thing about this recipe is that it comes with the pre-mixed items already. So once I get this heated up a little bit, the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to add a teaspoon of my frozen little garlic cubes and a frozen little ginger cube. This recipe calls for 1 teaspoon of each. So I'm just going to pop those in there. I'm going to let them melt a little bit. Oh yeah, that smells so good.
Smells so good.
It really does. And as this comes together, oh, I love the smell of garlic and ginger. It's so good. Once this comes together a little bit, we're going to be adding to it our coleslaw. It's like, just like I said, it's a bag of coleslaw mixture right out of the grocery store. If you want to, you can chop up your own cabbage, of course.
Yeah, this is nice because it already has cabbage, carrots, and
yeah,
2 kinds of cabbage: red cabbage, green cabbage, and carrots.
Yeah, exactly. So we're going to let this kind of come together for a little bit. Once we get this all heated up, it'll be time for us to add our slaw. We're going to let the slaw cook for about 3 to 4 minutes. We're also going to add our green onions.
Okay, let me put my slaw in.
Yeah, me too. Add my slaw. This is what makes it so simple. I'm going to toss my green onions in. I've got about a 1/4 cup of green onions, 3 cups of slaw. Sure is pretty on top of it.
It sure is. Fun fact. I actually weighed my slaw. So even though the recipe calls for 3 cups, the back of my package said 1 serving was 1.5 cups, and that was 85 grams. I just doubled that and used my food scale to weigh it as opposed to measuring it.
Oh, got it. Actually, I didn't measure mine. I just took 3 giant handfuls and plopped it in.
There you
I think
go.
that's a good eyeball. I can eyeball it.
That's about being brave with your recipe.
Yeah. So we'll let this cook and then we'll be right back.
All right. Welcome back. So we've gotten everything cooked down, our onions and our coleslaw cooked down. Now we're going to add a little bit of soy sauce and a little bit of sesame oil. So it's about 1 teaspoon of each. So I'm going to put that in here. Pre-measured it out.
Yummy.
I love sesame oil. It's so delicious.
It smells like a real egg roll.
Well, duh.
We made it in our own kitchens. I know. This mixture is amazing.
Oh my gosh.
I cannot wait to taste it. So I think from here, I'm going to just transfer mine to another pan. So, because I'm going to use the same vessel to cook my egg rolls.
Okay, well, that made me thirsty. You just saying that? So I'm going to drink some bubbles for that.
Let's have some bubbles instead. Love bubbles.
Yes. All right, welcome back. Real quick food safety tip. Make sure you want to make sure you have a clean surface whenever you are preparing food. So I've got a fresh, clean plate here. I've got my wonton sheets here that I'm going to use for the egg rolls, and I've got a clean spoon. We also put some egg in a bowl that we're going to use to seal up the egg rolls. So I'm excited about that.
Well, I am really looking forward to this. This sounds like it's going to be amazing. So I'm going to put some oil in my pan. If you have a countertop fryer, it says you can put like 2 or 3 inches worth, but for a frying pan, I'm going to put about 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch of oil in my pan. Get this heated up. So this will be the good start. All right.
Cool. And I'm going to turn on my air fryer so that we can get started.
Sounds good.
Okay. So I'm going to put my wrapper, I'll call it, on my plate here. And I'm going to put a couple of tablespoons of the mixture into the middle.
Okay.
And then I'm going to roll it like a burrito. And I'm going to show you what I mean by that. So I'm kind of
There's
keeping
my
it in the
couple of
middle.
tablespoons.
All right. So
Maybe I
here's
can
how I'm going to
roll
roll
it.
it. I'm
gonna
going to
watch.
put the sides in. That's the first thing you do. Then you take this, that's the side that's closer to you, and you go long and you kind of put it underneath, is the best way to say it, underneath the mixture. And then I'm going to put a little bit of egg on the front of this with my brush so that it will seal. And there, looks like an egg roll, doesn't it?
And I did mine on a diagonal, so I have a little different shape than yours. So I will do one more to show just one more technique. So I'm taking my wonton wrapper and putting it in a diagonal. I too am putting about, I put a hefty couple of tablespoons in it, but I'm pulling it in from the side, sideways, holding the bottom of the pocket forward and just tightening it up as much as I can. And I'm also going to brush mine with some egg, just to seal it in, lock it in.
That one like that.
And then I'm going to roll it and roll it. The first one turned out a lot neater than this one, but that's my technique.
I like it. I'm going to do that on this one and see how it works out.
So we'll get a few of these rolled up. I think, the advice is not to overcrowd your pan when it's time to fry it. You do it in batches. I think the reality is that last one had too much stuff in it.
All right. Well, we're going to get these rolled up and we'll be back and get them cooking.
Sounds good. All right.
All right, welcome back. So I've got mine in the air fryer. Lisa, you've got yours in the frying pan. Mine are starting to brown up nicely in the air fryer. Starting to look like egg rolls. So I'm going to keep that going.
These are browning up beautifully. You can see that, that's one side, but they're browning up really nicely. Everything inside is already cooked, so it's not really about trying to cook the product other than just get that wonton skin nice and browned.
Yes, very nice. I'll drink bubbles to that.
Me too.
Delicious.
So this is supposed to cook for about 3 to 4 minutes, depending on how hot your oil is. You want it to be at least close to 300 degrees so that it gets to sizzling a little bit.
Yeah.
These look nice.
And if you were so inclined, you could deep fry them. You're choosing to pan fry them, which I think makes sense. Uses a lot less oil and should produce the same result. Awesome.
These look really good.
All right, well, we'll get these cooked up and then we'll come back and finish out and see how they taste. Well, welcome back. Well, we finished cooking our egg rolls. Mine came out of the air fryer nice and crispy, a little bit brown. And Lisa, how did yours come out? Here we go.
Yeah. They turned out wonderful. I took them out of the frying pan and put them on a napkin or we call them paper towels. So they would, drain the excess oil. And then I plated them and it looks beautiful.
Yeah, it's really
I'm
good.
going to be using an orange sauce that I've made previously to give these a try, but I'm looking forward to tasting them.
And you can use, I'm just using an out of the bottle hoisin sauce. You can use sweet and sour, whatever you like. Oh my goodness.
Yum. Can I just say how yummy that is? Wow.
Super yummy. Wow. So good. Lisa, I can't believe we just made egg rolls. These are so good.
I know, they were super, super good. And it
Yeah.
took like no time to make them at all. So
Yeah, no time at all.
Yep, that's a win.
Well, I'll drink bubbles to that.
You too.
We'd like to thank our virtual audience for joining today. Thank you so much for watching Cooking with Bubbles. Please remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel and to like us on Facebook at facebook.com/cookingwithbubbles.
And if you have any recipes that you'd like for us to make while cooking with bubbles, any of our recipes, and would like to send us a photo, we'd love it. You can send it to cookingwithbubbles@yahoo.com. And eventually, like I said, we'll have aprons available for those that are interested, and you can let us know that as well. So that's it for today. I'm Lisa.
And I'm Rodney. See you next time.